All right, so we are back with the Cats on Bicycles Cotillion quilt, and it's time to quilt this. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to quilt it yet, but I've got lots of color options, as you can see. And I think thread-wise, I'll probably go for one of these like blue aqua colors, just so it doesn't stand out too much against the white. But I also think a white thread would be very stark on these bright colors. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. I think I might do something geometric or something. I've got one that's like little paws. So if I want it to be like themed with the cat, I might do paws. I haven't totally decided yet. Maybe I'll do loop the loop. I don't know. Maybe I'll do cakewalk. So many options. But I told my mom, since this was her quilt, she had to decide whether she wanted minky on the back or cotton on the back like I've done with all my other 3-yard quilts. She chose minky. So I actually said it obviously has to be minky. So I've got this, like, I think it's light turquoise is the color. It's Shannon Fabrics. It's oh so soft. And so I've got this. I've got my batting. We're ready to party. I'm gonna go get it loaded and I'll meet you over there, and I'll ponder on what I'm gonna use for my pantograph. So I'll meet you over my long arm. We'll see you real soon. This bicycle cat party is all basted in. I've got it all ready to go. Nice big old borders. I'm going with a yellow whisper thread. I felt like it showed up okay on here and it blended in here pretty okay without going like a stark white. The blue I felt like was going to be a little too much, so we're going with a yellow. I'm going to do the crisscross pantograph because it kind of reminded me of like this in here without it being too like overwhelming. It'll add a nice texture. And then I think it'll blend really well with this block here and these kitties over here. I think it's just gonna look really good. So let's get down to business. Well, I made it to the bottom and look at that. My measurement was so exact. I didn't have to crop anything. And my bobbin lasted the whole time. It's almost out. This was like quite a win for me. Look at that Mickey backing. So now I'm gonna load this off, trim it up. And my binding just came in the mail today, so I've got to cut that, do the math to figure out how many strips I need since this is bigger than the book, and then it's gonna get done. We're so close, so very close. Well, here we are with our first 3-yard quilt of the season. I guess you can call it a season. I don't feel like I've done any this year so far, but this one was so much fun. It's so wild, so crazy, but so fantastic. So Cotillion turned out amazing, even with all its little half square triangle chaos. I think it was interesting to see the mix of the big half square triangles in there with the little half square triangles to make the flying geese and this little like zigzaggedy thing. I don't even know, I'm sure it has a real name, but to see all those come together and to make this nice and big with a little bit bigger border. I guess I say nice and big, but it really only comes up to here on me. So it ended up being 50 by 60 with my big border on there, which makes sense because the pattern says it's like 41 by 50 something with its regular border on there. But how could you cut up those kitties? Am I right? And so as you can see, as we're up close here, I bought more of the coordinate to be my binding, and it's so fabulous. It just kind of brings it all together, gives it a little bit of framing to it without being as bright and wild as if I was to use this like orangey yellow grunge. But it's so cute, so fun, and it's about to make its maiden voyage because we're gonna go to Oregon this week, and my mom's gonna get this as we are meeting to caravan our way up there. So yes, we are driving up there, but all the more reason to have a fun cuddly quilt, to cozy up in the car for the 8-hour drive. I'm trying to show you that quilting on there. That crisscross was just perfect, and the yellow thread really sat in really well. I am very pleased with it. I did the light turquoise on the binding, and I think it did pretty okay, but just so you can get a better look at it, here is the back, so you can see that design on there. This is the same one that I used on the golf quilt I did last year, and it just shows up so nicely on there, just gives that texture and movement and oh so cozy and keeps it all quilted in place. So it is ready to go. So now that I've only given you like this much and this much of it to see, let me get you those final reveal photos so you can see this kitty cotillion quilt in completion. That's a lot of C's right there. And then we'll be back real soon with another fun project, whether it's a 3-yard quilt or kicking off something new. So stay tuned and we'll see you then.